breathe out. That's right, get those chakras clear. Because today we are talking about Karma, the Karma GS-6. It's rare that I get to talk about a company that makes cars in California. There just aren't that many of them. But Karma's headquarters are in Irvine, and cars are assembled in Moreno Valley, about 62 miles outside of Los Angeles. I say that not because there is a quiz later, but because Karma uses California desert vernacular in a lot of their naming conventions. This one, for example, is Pacifico Grey. Other options include Saguaro Green and Imperial Copper. Let's stay out here for a second and just take it all in. That's right, just relax. So now you know what you think of the outside. Let's get into it, literally. Simple, tasteful, elegant, environmental. The lines are clean and everything is purposeful. And I like that they've integrated reclaimed wood from the California wildfires in some models. So for what's actually in here, it feels like it's very meaningfully placed, but there might be a little less than what you actually do need. Most functions are done while driving with these haptic buttons on the steering wheel, and there is a marked lack of physical switchgear. I'd be more a fan of these buttons if they weren't so overly sensitive, hard to find while driving, and pretty layered when it comes to the interface. The 10.2-inch screen acts as an interface between the driver and the car. As well as the standard Apple CarPlay and Android Auto functionality, there are other functions you can monitor here. So yes, this is a hybrid car, and it has a really cool energy page that helps you monitor your efficiency as well as your energy history. Look, it even gives you a driving critique. Other systems you can oversee are steering feel, accelerator pedal aggressiveness, and of course audio functions, HVAC, and driver assistance features. So the rear seats for a GT car, let's call them cozy, but they are bigger than some. I could sit back here for a spell. What about you, Danger? What do you think?
No, thank you.
Yeah, they're not that big. The cockpit affords a holistic environment that's comfortable and driver-focused. Yes, there is a lot of zen here. When you step on the throttle, that zen flies out the window. The GS-6 is basically the Rivero that's been on a massive diet. It's lost 500 pounds and does 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. That'll really blow your eyebrows off. It's quick off the line and feels decently balanced. I like how the suspension feels for a comfortable GT driving experience. But it's a shame you can't ratchet things up a bit to make it feel sportier. It feels more sedate than it could, or maybe even should, given its competitive set. I'm interested in a second opinion, though. What say you, Mike Danger?
This car is quick.
When cruising in the GS-6, the ride is actually pretty pleasant, like a luxury car should be. Although, when you want to have some fun with this thing and throw it into a corner, the steering is very responsive and the car feels very much planted to the road.
So I think it's kind of funny, when you give this car enough gas or juice or whatever you give a hybrid, it emits engine noise inside of the cabin and it kind of comes over your shoulder. You kind of hear it. It's kind of weird.
Thanks to these electric motors, when you put the pedal down, your torque is almost instantaneous, getting you up to speed pretty quick. So make sure you're driving the GS-6 really responsible, because this Karma comes at you really fast.
So yeah, I gotta agree with Lynn on this one. Maybe they could have made it a little bit sportier, but you know what? That's our opinion. Your opinion is the one that matters, because essentially you're gonna be the one buying the car. So maybe you should take it out on a test drive so you can make your own decision on if you want it or not. And the best decision you can make right now is subscribing to the Kelley Blue Book YouTube channel.
There are 3 drive modes in the GS-6. The first, which is the default, is called Stealth, and that is a battery-only mode. If you want to change them, you just use the paddle shifter on your left. The The GS-6 was designed as an extended range electric vehicle, and sustain mode harnesses as much of that energy as possible. Sport mode puts the power down from both motors and the engine. There's a special exhaust note that comes along with sport mode, but it's nothing that will blow the doors off. Not sure they should have even bothered. Overall, I think the GS-6 just doesn't push far enough.
In our tester, we have the upgraded 22-inch wheels and the slightly stickier Goodyear Eagle F1 tires. That's a $9,900 package, and it does give you a little bit of added grip, although I distinctly recall hearing Danger make these tires squeal earlier.
Woo!
But the GS-6 is a grand touring car, not a track car. It has very little body roll around corners thanks to its wide track and weight distribution, and is overall a pleasing and spirited driving experience.
The brakes get 3-mode regenerative powers. Sounds like something you'd want in a face cream.
Level 1 feels like normal driving, and Level 3 is pretty much a one-pedal driving experience. Good thing is you can set them to the level you want and they don't default back to their original setting when you turn the car off. According to Karma, the GS-6 gets a 360-mile range with a full tank of gas. To fully charge, it requires 4 hours with a level 2 charger and about 35 minutes to get to 90% with a DC fast charger.
The GS-6 is powered by a 1.5-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine that pairs with 2 motors in the rear. Those both add up to 400 volts, and those motors are actually the only thing that are powering the rear wheels.
The 3-cylinder gas engine acts as a generator and charges the battery that drives the motors when it's been depleted after between 60 and 80 miles, depending on how you drive. The setup is good for 536 horsepower and 550 pound-feet of torque that drives the rear wheels. Get the GS-6S version and you're looking at significantly more torque. Karma does offer an 8-year, 80,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on the entire shebang. Of course, you'd expect a bevy of safety features in a car that's this tech-forward, and you won't be disappointed. Accident mitigation items include lane keeping assist, lane keeping support, and blind spot monitoring that comes standard.
In keeping with the tech theme, Karma has an app where owners can lock and unlock the doors, check on their vehicle's maintenance health, as well as find out where their car is. I'm assuming that's physically and not like spiritually or psychically.
Competitors stacking up against the GS-6 include the Porsche Panamera, Maserati Quattroporte, and the Aston Martin Vantage. We've heard from the folks at Karma that they've even seen a lot of Honda Odyssey owners trading in. Time to reward yourself for a job well done, Mom. Because of that healthy list of foes, it's a good thing that Karma is offering the GS-6 at what they're calling a more attainable price. And this is a smart tactical move on Karma's part. The base GS-6 starts at $83,900, while the top-of-the-line GS-6S starts above 6 figures. A pure electric version arrives later this year, starting at closer to $80,000. These numbers are prior to any state or federal tax credits or incentives. Hey, even Uncle Sam needs some good karma these days.
This example that I've been driving clocks in at $114,700, and that includes an $1,800 destination fee. Now, if I'm being honest, I think your best bet is to skip the extras here and just go for the lower price point.
There's also a hybrid SUV, the GX1, to compete with the Model Y, coming soon.
Classic old world styling and a lot of new world tech make the Karma GS-6 a nice combination between bespoke and moderately affordable.